Hello, this is Diane Greco-Allen, your food relationship coach and pancreatitis awareness, also inflammatory awareness in the digestive system and bowel. And I'm here today because this is just in from Dr. Mark Hyman. And I always get all the emails and all the top leaders and experts in the industry of food and what's going on in our bodies when we consume these foods. So here we have Jeff Nobbs and Dhru Purohit. This is all through Dr. Mark Hyman's website. And it's whether or not to seed or not to seed. Now, if you think about seeds, we've been exposed to seed oils all of our life. We've been exposed to all the different safflower seeds, you name it, sunflower, any type of seed that's been where the oil's been expelled or expressed into an oil that we consume. Many of the oils that we consumed were corn oils, and those caused a disastrous issue with many people. All the corn family foods, anything that's made from corn oil, corn syrups, all that, we already know that. Now they're finding out that some of these seed oils, well, you think about peanut oil, which is a nut. It says peanut, but guess what? It's a pea, and it's from the legume family. So there's some of these crossovers with different types of seeds and peanuts and nuts. And so when you consume or overconsume a processed food, some of that stuff that they process or make it into that oil is causing issues in our body. So there's omega-3s and omega-6s. And the omega-3s, which we know come from like salmon and from walnuts, and there's some other good nuts that there's omega-3s, and avocados are very good. But what happens is when you process all these, you overconsume actually some of these products, and it can cause some imbalances with not only your blood sugar and cholesterol, but your hormones, and it can cause some issues with your liver. Now, this gentleman, who's Jeff Nobbs, did a little thing on, he's from co-founded Help Kitchen, Connect Food, Insecure Individuals, and all this stuff, but apparently he was trying to work to replace destructive vegetable oils with healthier, more sustainable options by fermenting. Now, I'm not going to say yay or nay yet on this, what he's talking about, because it bothers me a little bit that this is coming from cane sugar that he's creating. And so his episode that is available on Dr. Mark Hyman's site, I will post that for you to listen to, but it's why seed oils aren't as good as we thought they were. Now, I believe that he was initially, this gentleman, he was a vegan, I believe. Dhru and Jeff also dive into the negative impact of eating a diet with unnaturally high doses of omega-6 oils to give the world an oil change. I love that. And his company's called Zero Acre Farms. Now, the oil change issue is eat naked. And I already said that. I'm not talking about taking your clothes off. I'm talking about eat raw and eat naked. You don't want to put a lot of crap on your food. And we were always taught to get all those dressings for our salads. And sometimes those dressings cause what? They cause a little bit of inflammation. Sometimes they've got sugar hidden in there. They've got all kinds of things hidden in those bottles. And so it's best to just make natural and just drizzle. Drizzle's good. So anyway, but they go on to what the impact of seed oils are on the body, how to test your omega-6 blood levels, the history of seed oils, and how they've become so pervasive. Now, this was all just sent to me in an email. I'm not saying this is my material. No, this is a podcast episode number 420. And Jeff Nobbs is the gentleman that they're interviewing. But observational research and the argument for seed oils, randomized controlled trials and argument against seed oils, Dhru's experience with seed oils and growing up vegetarian. That's what it was. So he relied on vegetables most of the time. And I am seeing across the board, vegan, no matter what you are, you're depending on the amount and dosages of these foods. And if they are properly handled and stored, some of these things become rancid and they can cause some major issues. People are relying on like large bottles of different types of oils for like, I don't know how long. And some of that stuff is just no good. Now, my mom, we had the big Mazola corn oil. We were using it for our pizza. It was the only oil she used. And so you learn from your experiences. And then, of course, there was all this flour that had no real, genuine, any type of nutrient value for us because it was bleached and everything was taken away from it. And we were relying on that. So anyway, we're going back to the seed oils and Jeff's story and how he became involved. The top seed oils in restaurants and ultra-processed foods. Now, unfortunately, my daughter was allergic to every freaking thing and anything that was related to legumes because of her peanut and soy allergy. So that's how we learned about those legumes. And then we started realizing what they're using in the restaurant industry for foods. And I just recently went to Whole Foods and saw that they are calling this one, I just picked up a little piece of salmon, and it was called paleo salmon because it had olive oil and salt and pepper, and that was it. Well, pretty much we're going to find out all those extra stuff that we were just so used to, all the sauces and all that stuff that just, gallons of it we were drinking and eating at the same time. Okay, so fear-mongering seed oils in mainstream media. That's another one of his topics, the adulteration of olive oil and avocado oil. So like I said, any of these oils can be processed and produced, and they can be put on the market. Now, some of them are made much cheaper, and you never know really what you're getting. The olive oils, they can be a combination of different olives. And if you're looking for the pure, the less processed, you want the simplest form, it's really better to eat an olive. But you got to find out what some of those olives are actually in. Some of the olives are in seed oils. So when you go to buy some olives, find out if they're in their own natural juices or if there's just a little bit of olive oil in it. Some of them are mixed with seasonings and there are different things that they put in there. And look for sugars too. There's hidden sugars everywhere. And sometimes those little peppers that I used to love and eat during the holidays, those are filled with sugar too because they put, not only does the pepper have some sugar in it, but then they add additional seed oils and sugar to them. So think about those things when you're purchasing items. The unrefined coconut oil, I still do use that, and I occasionally use some of the oils, very occasionally. I want you to think about how many times you come across a sesame seed, because everything bagel seasoning has been incorporated into everything. So it's not only got the salts, sometimes it's got additional types of things to create some good taste in your mouth, and they heighten everything with additional types of ingredients. So you want to think about those things. And then Jeff's last things are thoughts on high oleic acid oils and how he's going to do all this. Like I said, I'm a little concerned about this scenario only because it comes from sugarcane, fermented sugarcane. Okay, so they're probably trying to figure out how to work with sugarcane because white sugar is not good for you, and it's made of carbon. And these sugars in our body turn into drippy, sticky messes and cause all kinds of problems in the gut and the blood and in your heart and circulatory system and then in your brain. So the liver can't get rid of some of this stuff and then it overworks trying to do it. And then your kidneys will shut down because they're just tired of it all. They said, I don't think I can handle all this. So I'm just checking in and giving you the scoop on what's going on with seed oils, to seed or not to seed. Diane Greco-Allen, food relationship coach. Have a beautiful day. And if you would like to work with me, just reach out and we can figure out a way to see what's going on in your life and what might be making some digestive issues happen for you. Thanks. Bye.